I wish I had more exciting news to share, but let's just say the short-term updates won't have you popping champagne. The long-term outlook, though, if you're holding XRP, there's still plenty of reason to keep the faith. Remember, it's all about the big picture. Now, let's talk about that XRP spot ETF. Tired of fake gurus who claim to be expert traders but never trade live? I trade live on the second largest crypto exchange, where everything is transparent and results can't be faked. For over 440 days, I've consistently closed every month in profit. In the last 90 days alone, my followers have earned over $34,000 in profits with only 4% drawdown. Verified results, not empty claims. Want to see my verified stats? Click the first link in my profile and start copying my trades for free today. Yeah, it's not happening right now. As Cointelegraph puts it, SEC punts decisions on XRP, Doge ETFs. Frustrating? Absolutely. But hey, patience wins the game, and those leveraged XRP ETFs everyone was hyped about for April 30th, turns out it was all smoke and mirrors. Despite the headlines, the launch was nothing more than a rumor. So, hang in there. This journey might have its twists, but the destination is still worth it. It might not be as scary as it sounds. But before we jump in, let me be real with you. I'm not a financial expert. I'm not here to dish out financial advice. And seriously, don't make any buy or sell moves based on what I say. I'm just a crypto nerd who loves making YouTube videos about this stuff as a fun hobby. That's it. All right, let's dive in. You've probably seen headlines like this one blowing up your feed. And here's a big one from Yahoo Finance. ProShares set to launch 3 leveraged and short XRP futures ETFs on April 30th after SEC review. Yep, I had to cover this because it's literally everywhere. Honestly, I couldn't wait to hit record and break it all down for you. So let's talk about what's happening. ProShares is gearing up to launch 3 XRP futures-based ETFs. Sounds huge, right? Here's the twist. They're not live yet. The official rollout is set for April 30th, 2025, with a tentative green light from the SEC. ProShares is making waves with its new XRP ETF lineup, featuring the Ultra XRP ETF, 2x leverage, the Short XRP ETF, and the Ultra Short XRP ETF, 2x leverage. What's the twist? These funds track XRP's price without actually holding it. An unexpected move for the first US XRP ETF to ditch the traditional spot approach. A spot ETF backed directly by XRP might be the obvious choice, but ProShares is flipping the script. Unusual? Definitely. But it's still a win. These ETFs bridge the gap between traditional finance and the XRP ecosystem, bringing in sophisticated tools that scream mainstream adoption. If XRP wants to level up, this is exactly the kind of evolution it needs. It's official. XRP is stealing the spotlight. Sure, this could bring some much-needed attention to the crypto, but let's keep it real. Leveraging investments is no joke. Personally, I'd steer clear of leveraging. Too risky for my taste. But at the end of the day, it's your money and your decision. That's the beauty of investing. Freedom to call the shots. Big picture? This is definitely exciting news. Short products play an important role in the market, but if you're thinking of consistently shorting XRP, you might want to rethink that strategy. Long-term, XRP's utility is only going to expand, and with it, its value will likely follow. This announcement comes hot on the heels of the 2 Kareem Investment Advisor LLC XRP ETF launch, the first ever XRP-focused ETF in the US. Earlier this month, the fund offers leveraged exposure to XRP without directly holding the token, setting the stage for a groundbreaking shift in the world of crypto investing. Bloomberg's senior ETF analyst, Eric Balchunas, highlighted something unusual. XRP has jumped straight into the big leagues with a leveraged ETF, even though a spot XRP ETF hasn't been approved yet. Wild, right? And speaking of 2 Kareem's leveraged XRP ETF, it's already turning heads. It debuted in the top 5% of ETFs, one of the most successful launches ever. Now, let's dream for a second. If a leveraged ETF can create this much buzz, imagine the frenzy a spot XRP ETF would stir up. It would probably steal the entire show, don't you think? Safe bet it'd be a game changer. Meanwhile, the ETF world has been buzzing with activity. We even got to witness the launch of the world's first XRP spot ETF, but not in the US. Surprisingly, it happened in Brazil. Cool for Brazil, but isn't it odd how this is playing out? You'd expect the US to lead the charge with other countries following behind, and leveraged ETFs coming way later? It's like the script is flipped. Strange times, huh? But hey, it feels like this is just the beginning. The real show is bound to hit the US sooner or later. Here's the deal. The highly anticipated XRP ETF isn't dropping tomorrow. Let's set the record straight. Rumors about ProShares unveiling an XRP ETF on April 3rd, 2025 have been officially debunked. ProShares has shut down the chatter, squashing the crypto community's buzz, at least for now. This news comes as Bitcoin ETFs continue to steal the spotlight, keeping investors on their toes. Adding his voice to the mix, Bloomberg ETF expert James Seifert weighed in, tweeting, "Update. Lots of buzz about ProShares launching XRP ETFs on April 30th. We've confirmed this isn't happening. No official launch date yet, but we're optimistic it could happen soon. So, while the XRP ETF won't be making its debut tomorrow, it's clear the idea hasn't been shelved entirely. Fingers crossed for what's next." Here's the thing, folks. The launches? Totally happening. That part's legit, no debate there. The issue is the date. It's just plain wrong. Why is it off? The source didn't spill the beans, but I've got a theory. So here's what I found. I came across a document, wish I had it here, but hey, it's out there. Someone shared what looked like an official ProShares filing. In it, there's a box checked saying the product launches on or about April 30th, 2025. If this document's legit, and honestly, who's out there faking this stuff, then boom, that could explain the mix-up. That's probably where the mix-up began. It was never set in stone for April 30th, but somewhere along the way, it got reported as if it was. My theory? That's how the whole misunderstanding spiraled out of control. And here we are, knee-deep in a flurry of false reporting. The silver lining? It's still coming. No need to stress. It's not over yet. Just a little more patience will do the trick. The timeline may have shifted, but the goal is still in sight. Nonetheless, this one hits a bit harder. The SEC pushes back its decision on XRP and Doge ETFs. The SEC just pumped the brakes on two proposed cryptocurrency ETFs, and it's got the crypto community buzzing. According to filings, the agency has postponed its decision on greenlighting ETFs holding Dogecoin and XRP until June. Cue the collective groan. The delays, first reported by Cointelegraph, stem from March filings by NYSE Arca and CBOE BZX to list Bitwise's Dogecoin ETF and Franklin Templeton's XRP ETF. Adding to the mix, NASDA made its move the same day, filing for approval of the 21 shares Dogecoin ETF. So, what's the holdup? No clear explanation from the SEC, leaving crypto enthusiasts in suspense. The clock's ticking, the stakes are high, and the wait continues. For much of the last decade, the SEC's go-to move has been delaying Bitcoin decisions. Fast forward to today, Bitcoin now has multiple spot ETFs in the mix. Yet here we are, watching the same old play unfold. With the US government now openly pro-crypto from the top down, you're probably wondering, what's the holdup? Why the delay? Great question. Honestly, a brilliant question. The truth? No one really knows. The SEC isn't spilling the beans. It could just be growing pains with a new SEC chair or juggling a packed agenda. Odds are, approval is still on the horizon. They're just taking their time to get it all lined up. Maybe they really do need more time. A year ago, under the previous administration, I'd have laughed that off without a second thought. But now, if someone said it, I'd probably just nod and think, yeah, maybe they actually do. Who knows, right? Either way, the wheels are still turning. Here's something worth keeping an eye on. Eleanor Tarrant, formerly of Fox Business fame, shared an interesting nugget after speaking with ETF expert James Seifert. Yes, the Bloomberg wizard himself. The buzz is building and timelines are tightening. We could see decisions on several crypto ETPs this Q4. Specifically for the XRP spot ETF, James is eyeing mid-October. With the 18th shaping up to be the key date, things are getting interesting. The SEC might not take the full time to make its decision, but how quickly they act will depend on how seriously they dig into the applications. One thing's crystal clear, this is moving forward. My money's still on a yes, with the green light likely coming in the latter half of 2025. In the short run, the hype around what this means for XRP is probably overblown. But, long-term, it's being wildly underestimated. Over the years and decades ahead, the sheer volume of money flowing into XRP will be nothing short of staggering. Why? Because these ETFs, especially spot ETFs, will actually hold XRP as their core asset. And let's not forget, this is the United States we're talking about, the biggest capital market in the world. That's massive. There's a whole universe of investors who will jump at the chance to buy an ETF but wouldn't even consider buying XRP directly from an exchange. Not everyone is ready to open a Coinbase account or dive headfirst into the maze of self-custodying crypto. And that's perfectly fine. They don't need to. Giving people a chance to gain exposure on a platform they already know and trust, that changes everything. It's a total game changer. Sure, the short-term delays can be annoying, but let's zoom out for a second. In the big picture, this doesn't even matter. The momentum is here, and things are only going to get bigger and better from here on out. Quick disclaimer though, I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice. Don't go buying or selling based on my thoughts alone. Seriously, that's not the move.